Hey friends, are we live? I think we're live. Welcome to the garden. Welcome to Wayland and Becca's backyard veggies and farm stand. So yeah, we've got some things going on today. We are home, so if you want to pop by for a visit, shoot us a quick message or just stop by. So I didn't get these posted yet on Etsy, but we've got some giant loofah on sale. These are $2.50 each for our loofahs, so I have a whole bunch of those. On our Etsy shop, we've got the large 20-ounce jar of cranberry sauce. This was made with our organic cane sugar and our homegrown Meyer lemon, so it is a low sugar recipe, and it's really delicious. It's my grandma's recipe. And so we've got those on sale for $15 a jar. I have a smaller organic blueberry jam made with our Meyer lemons as well. This is also low sugar, organic cane sugar. So this one is 12 ounces on sale for $10. And then I've got the 20-ounce jar on sale for $15. We've got some of our homemade cucumber relish with onions and peppers, and this is great on your tuna fish, chicken salad, deviled eggs, all that good stuff. So this is on sale for $5 a jar. It's a large jar. And we also have, if you haven't shopped our Etsy, this is kind of a quick peek at what's on the shelves. So we are shipping out next day, USPS priority and first class. I would suggest getting your orders in before the end of the first week of December if you want to ship to a family member or a friend. That way, if there's any delays in the postal office, which there may be, you want to get your orders in sooner than later. So my shop is on sale 20% off, and if you're local and you want to order and pick up here, my checkout code is 361local. That is for locals who want to pick up at our farm stand. This is we won't ship for free, but this is free, waives the shipping fees, so locals can purchase our soaps and just pick up here when it's convenient. So we've got all kinds of men's goat milk shave soaps. I've got some 3-packs of like bourbon, bay rum, bay leaf. I've got an unscented one. We got some fun things like for our Harry Potter fans. We've got our Phoenix soap. I always have the classic oatmeal and honey available. And my shop's name is Becca's by the Bay on Etsy. I'll put the link below. We've got just a lot of fun designs, lots of mermaids, and lots of dolphins. So we've got dolphins. Let's see. We also have some flowers for your gardener people out there, and we have lots of moon-shaped soaps. So these are really fun, celestial soaps. This is 50 Shades of Grey. This is a great one for men and women. I didn't have a chance to remake the magnesium lotions, but I have magnesium cream in stock in the tins. These are on sale. We have our Bath & Body sugar scrubs that are on sale. Our mystery boxes are on sale. So mystery boxes are all of our like mishaps and just different things that I tried out, and so I stock you up on a lot of good soaps, and those are on sale. We also have our mermaid gift boxes on sale. I'm going to apologize for sweating because it's unusually warm right now for South Texas. It is hot today. Let's see. We do have a few left in stock of our men's shave soap brushes. Some of them I think are coming with the little handle. And then if you want something a little bit fancier, not just a refill, we have the ones in the tin that's upside down. Whoops. So here's our bourbon one in the tin. It's great for travel. We've got chakra soaps, pet shampoo, of course our mermaid soaps here. And I haven't done a ton of candles, but we do have candles in stock, and we have some of our larger fun ticket items, which are our giant queen bees, dragon eye soaps, and over here for holidays, this is our Hocus Pocus Farm Fresh Apple. Super fun. And then we've got, I only have 2 left of the Snoopy Peppermint. So, we have 2 left in stock. And then we have these really adorable Grinchmas Bayberry soaps available. And I'll be finishing those. So here's like the little Snoopy one. And then the little Grinch one comes with Naughty or Nice, I Tried My Best. Little Grinchy gift tag and all that. So, we're also having the plant sale. So, if you're here locally, Wayland's mowing. If you're here locally, we've got, I thought he was done. We've got plants on sale for $1. So yeah, I repotted a bunch of these. We've got the Collards kale, Jacinto kale, so it's the flat leaf kale. We have the early grow broccoli, so it's a smaller compact one. I'm going to try growing some in the 3-gallon pot since they're going to be smaller and compact size. We're going to see, this is about the size you need to grow just one. And I've got some baby pot choy and all that. We got more pot choy and stuff in here. So, got those in the hoop house. We got these planted sometime this week. These are Wayland's special variety of a dwarf tomato plant. So I got 3 of them planted here. This is another special variety. It's supposed to be a, oh, it's escaping my mind. Not an indeterminate, it's a determinate brand. So it will put on all its tomatoes kind of like all at one time. So we've got some little blooms starting to happen here, and I saw one this morning. There's a couple here. This one's the Juliet, so this makes like a grape tomato. So it's got its first bloom on, and you can go like this to help pollinate a little bit better. Just bump it around a little bit. And so we got Swiss chard. Trying to get it growing again because the birds ate a lot of it. So we got some more little seedlings popping up that I'm going to move around to get bigger. There's some baby pot choy in here. And sold some lettuces this morning, so we've got some lettuces left, $1 each. Some beautiful. And I'll put them in a quart-sized bag. So there's our lettuces. And this whole bed I redid. Wayland had some leftover onions that we picked up. The Sweet Southern Belle Red and Texas Legend. And this is my Jacinto kale. So they're spaced about, this is like a 4 by, no, I think it's like a, is it 6 feet? It might be 6 feet by 2 feet. Bed, raised bed. And they're spaced about 5 inches apart. So I don't like my kale to be super large. And it keeps them a little bit more tender if I plant them a little bit closer together. If you want really big kale, you're going to space them more like 10 to 12 inches apart. But since we're an urban garden here, we plant them a little bit closer to maximize our growing and keep the leaves a little bit more tender. I got a few bell peppers happening over here. I took some cuttings of this plant. I think the cold front that we got affected them, so we'll see if they snap out of that. They're in the front yard, so we'll see how those do. But I did take some cuttings because I wanted to start some more pepper plants. Got some jalapenos on here. Green Malabar spinach. If anybody wants some, let me know. I'll just find another pot. And we closed up the pool for the season. Here's some collards. We've got collards down here. So this is like a giant molasses tub or a large pot. And so I can fit 4 plants comfortably. I've tried doing 5 and it kind of overcrowds them. So I try to stick to just 4 for a size pot like that. And then same with this pot, it's a whiskey barrel. I'll stick 4 plants to it. This is a slightly smaller whiskey barrel, so I'll only put like 3 plants to that. And so I don't know that if I explained it in the last video, but we did get a batting cage at Academy. It's 22 by, how wide, Wayland? 12 by 22. And it was really easy to put up. It's got like these fiberglass rods and then 1 giant net. And then we closed up the hole for the batting cage so birds didn't get in there. And basically, we live in an urban environment here and we have a lot of native birds. And what happens is they will come and pull out, as you can see, these are our onions that we planted. We also planted some garlic. But they'll come and pull them all up while we're out during the day. And then so our plants won't get rooted and grow. So we put, I guess it was about 33 onions in a bundle for $2.99 at Naylor. I think Naylor's had the same price. Naylor's feed store had just the 10-15 onions. Oh, about 80 per bundle.
Yeah, 35 per row.
Oh, 35 per row. We can fit 35 per row, and about 80 onions were in a bundle for $2.99. So our local feed store Naylor's had just the 10-15s, and that's a good variety, but they're not as shelf stable. So we went with the Texas Legend, and we went with the Southern Red Bell, which makes kind of a reddish purple onion, which is really pretty. So we got those planted, and here's our row of our garlic. And the carrots are looking better than I've seen in any other year that we've grown them. These are our rainbow carrots, the Scarlet Nantes, and I filled in with some Danvers carrot seed from Naylor's feed store, and I thinned them out. I might have to go back in and thin some of them out a little bit more. Definitely, they want to be definitely want them to be like more like 1 inch apart to 2 inches apart, so that you can form a nice sized carrot. So we have the purple Cosmos and the orange Scarlet Nantes, and then here's our little Danvers, because I ran out of seed, and some of my seed was more heavily planted than others. So, yeah, they're coming along really nicely. These will still take several more months to grow. They're doing good. Here's our, I think, Green Magic and Early Girl broccoli that we planted. There's about 10 in each of these rows. So we've got 2 rows of broccoli here planted. This is a nice compact sized broccoli. Good morning. Hi, Jonda. Hi, Captain Marcus. So this is a nice compact variety for an urban gardener. It won't get as big as some of the other broccoli varieties, but it'll still be about, about 6 inches wide in head, and just to make a really nice sized broccoli. And I think these are spaced, like about 1 foot apart, Wayland? Yeah. So these are about 1 foot apart, and we have our rain catchment water drip lines on them. And then I moved back here. These are our green Malabar spinach along the cattle panel. So they don't climb on their own, so as they get bigger, I'm going to weave them in and out a little bit. And we created an arch over here by our little chicken coop. Hey, chickadoos! They're making compost and taking a break this winter on laying eggs and being friendly little pets. Aren't you guys so sweet? They're so cute. So, also another variety we planted. These are about 6 inches apart. I'll show you guys what we did to plant the onions in a minute. But we've got, I'm gonna have to go through. I'm going to try and get another row of beets in. These are beets. These were started September 2nd by seed in the house under grow lights. It did take a little while to get going, and I want to get like one more row in. And then these baby pak choi were started around the beginning of October, and they'll stay little. So we planted them about, looks like 6 inches apart, and our beets are about 6 inches apart as well. And so we fit at least 32 beets in a row, and gosh, I don't know, like probably twice that of the pak choi. So there's probably 120 pak choi out here at least. It's great for stir fry. It's great for fresh salads. I really love it. Something is eating on it though, so we have some holes because I think it's been a little warmer than usual. And Wayland created this. So if you've seen Never Sink Farms and all that, and or Johnny's Tools has row markers for things, this is just extra cattle panel that we had. It is it's four wide, and it's 6 around, and then he hooked it together with some hog clips, hog ties, hog clamps, hog rings. I knew I'd get that. Anyway, so once we tilled up our garden with our amendments, with the bone meal, blood meal, cow manure, chicken manure, compost, all that, and marked out our rows and put out our drip line, Wayland rolled this, and it's probably not going to mark it over here because this is very compact clay, but in that soft soil, it made a straight row marker so that we could plant every 6 inches for our onions. And that's how we filled in with the pak choi and with the beets. So that's really cheap and easy to do if you've got leftover, or someone's got a leftover piece of cattle panel. And that made it really easy to make straight rows and very even spacing for the garden. So the birds have been visiting us every day. Our fig trees did put on leaves after I trimmed them back, so we should be getting some cooler weather, and it's okay if the leaves fall off again, because when they put on their new growth and make new branches, that's where it's going to make its fruit in the springtime. So yeah, we got our tomatoes planted, and we've been trimming some stuff up. Here's our little dwarf Cavendish banana tree we got this fall, so we'll see how this guy does. I'm hoping, they said he's not supposed to get too much, probably taller than our fence line, which is probably about 8 feet tall, so maybe 8 to 10 feet tall. And our moringa, and then here's our ice cream banana trees. They're about 30 feet tall, 25, 30 feet tall. Basically, we just, we water them about once or twice a week. We run our wash water, our gray water here. I make our own laundry soap that's all natural from coconut oil. And so we run that here. And we also had a friend that raises meat rabbits, so we put several inches of organic rabbit manure. And then this fall I did amend. You can tell these are a little bit skinnier, so it's not getting as much sun or as much nutrients as some of these bigger ones. So I may just actually cut some of these back so the other ones fruit a little bit better. I did do some trimming, and then let me flip this bag over. We put at least a whole bag of black cow manure here and got that watered in to help fertilize this, because they are heavy feeders. This is about $5 or so at Lowe's. And I was going to show you guys, maybe, I don't know if I didn't grab everything, but I was trying to make a really easy potting soil mix. So this is the STA Green vegetable garden soil, and it's a little bit better than your Happy compost that I've bought. Oops, I made up a batch already. So this batch here is just a giant molasses tub. It's one of these bags, and to grab it. Just kind of a small size pot of, I bought a giant bag of perlite, so there's about 3 of these of perlite in here. I did 3 of these of the black cow manure, and I also did, this is your giant sphagnum peat moss. So I did 3 of these, and it makes a really quick and easy, cheap and affordable potting mix. Now you can see there's some wood bark in here still, but it is a lot finer than the Happy Compost. The Happy Compost has more like wood chips in it, and wood chips will rob nitrogen from your soil and your plants, and it will really mess up your garden. So having broken down compost is much more ideal. So the whole idea of putting the black cow in here too is because this is slightly moist, and as it sits and I'm not using it, it will break down a little bit more because of the black cow manure. So in the meantime, it will gently fertilize new plants, and it's a really affordable mix. So I made probably 2 batches of this the other day, and this is what I have left over, and I have some extra here. And so I replanted all those little seedlings in our hoop house, and I did 25 of these 3-gallon pots. So this is a little experiment we have going on. I ran out of garden space, and these are our early girl variety broccolis. So since I ran out of space, these are our 3-gallon pots that I had that were extra laying around, and I was really low on our compost because we've put it everywhere in the garden, and I'll show you what I mean. But I filled these halfway with our chicken compost and manure and everything that we've had that's broken down really well. And then I filled the other half with my potting soil mix that I just showed you that I made, and I put my transplants in. So I can move these around a little bit and give them a little bit more space, and we'll see how they do. I'm real excited to see how they grow because it's a compact size, and it should grow in a 3-gallon pot if you're limited on space. So there's a bunch of them here. This gets really great afternoon sun in this location. So we're going to just try them out and see how they do. And I thought that would be really fun because I love broccoli. Came out really good. And I'll take you back here. This is where I think I showed you guys I was working on our compost pile where the chicken run used to be. So, past 5 years, our chicken run was all back here, and we had a good 12 inches or so of compost. I mean, it was like up to here. And so, we've scooped it all out and put it in all of the raised beds and pots and in the garden. And this is all extra stuff we've got going on here. Wayland stacked our wood over here for the fall for our fires and cooking outdoors. Here's what I've got. We moved our free bathtub back here, and whatever was leftover compost that was just putting in your pots and stuff like that, it can cause some issues, and it can be filler, and we've tried stuff like that with leaves, and it worked okay, but it wasn't ideal. So I've had to sift through this, and it was more finely broken down, which is we've used most of that up already. Oops, got too far away from the house. So my plan is, when we have more free time, anywho, my plan is, I was hoping, because I don't know anyone that's really doing organic worms down here, I'd like to try doing like a worm bed and seeing how they do in that giant tub, and then creating our own natural worm poop tea and all that to help with fertilizing the garden and stuff. So that's a goal of mine. We do have a lot of things to do around our homestead before that kind of happens. So, but that's a goal. I think it'd be fun. I don't know anyone doing that. I met a few people that were doing mealworms for their chickens, and it was very hands-on. I mean, it was like a daily thing, and I don't have time to add on another daily thing. But that was a really good, cool idea that we saw somebody doing here locally. They were raising mealworms for their chickens to cut down on their feed. So we do get some free scraps from an organic grocery store called Natural Grocers. We just go in and ask for the old yucky produce that they picked off or nobody wanted. They give us a giant bag for it for free, and we feed it to our chickens, and it helps with their feed costs and helps break down, you know, into compost. And they get really good stuff from the garden. Once everything's up and growing, I pick stuff daily and give it to them. It's been a little sparse until we get things growing for the past few months, so we usually try and get some extra goodies for them from the store. And we don't have time to let them out and run around in the yard because we have a lot more hawks coming in, and we've lost our chickens too many times. So if we're home and we have time to hang out with them, we let them out and roam around and stuff, and they do a really good job of eating all the cockroaches and things like that and all the bugs in the yard. So they're really good for pest control management. I didn't think in town it'd be such an issue with the hawks, but like, especially this time of year for the fall, animals are hungry, and we've got a bunch of wires in the back, and they never had, maybe 3 years ago, crossed the wire and came over because they were eating other natural birds in the area. But they got really more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but I guess they just finally realized we had chickens, and they were like, ooh, that looks tasty. And so we lost several chickens that way, and then you have to start all over again for baby chicks. So it's kind of really sad. So we try to make sure that they're really safe. That's why the coop is fully enclosed, and we have a lot of stray cats around here. I had a possum once get to our chickens, and I nursed her back to health, and then a hawk got her. But I worry about the stray cats that they keep coming by trying to get our chickens. So again, we wouldn't be able to leave our chickens out during the day unattended because I'm afraid the cats would get them. So that's kind of the update that's happening in the backyard. Not too much going on in the front. We did lose a lot of the lettuce to a caterpillar or two. Like overnight, they just ate like a couple of beds of it, like 3 beds of our lettuce. And it took me since September 1st to grow my lettuce out from seed and then get it big enough to transplant out. So it looks like it's just, all my lettuce seed is not coming up that I planted. And then, so the basil's still kind of hanging on. I figured I'd let it go to seed, pull it out, and maybe put something else in here, like the pepper plants, which they're over here in the shade. And I'm hoping they kind of snap out of the chill that happened the past few days. So I took some pepper cuttings and put them in rooting hormone and stuck them in some pots, and we'll see how they do. And I was hoping they'd transplant over here in a little bit. Since it'll be by the house, they should be doing good. So we got cilantro. Here's another pepper plant. I mean, it's just doing really good. I've never had pepper plants in the front here before, but this is an orange bell pepper, and it's looking real good. So I'd like to have a few more bell pepper plants. I'm pretty well stocked on my basil. I mean, I have jars and jars of it dehydrated. This whole thing like a hedge of basil. So I have tons of basil that we ate and harvested. So it's plantain, purslane, onion chives. This is starting to flower. This is our chia seed experiment. So I planted some chia seeds, and it's making some really, really pretty flowers. Not sure when it makes the seed, but that'll be fun to watch. Probably planted it in August. I thinned it out a little bit. Doesn't like the cold mornings. So here's some damage from the cold snaps that we've been getting. So we'll see if it hangs on or not. It is closer to the house, so hopefully it'll do well. There's some garlic chives in here. My 2 kinds of oregano, rosemary. And here's our datura flower plant, which looks like it's just going to seed and no more flowers. So it's making these really funky seed pods. And then they dry, and then I guess some of the birds have pecked at them. And then some dropped, and they started all over again. So we got some baby datura flowers down here. Yeah, so I've just got a little bit of lettuce that's made it in the front, and I put some rutabaga seed I was like, what happened to all my rutabaga plants, Wayland? And he's like, I don't know. I think he saw one in the Swiss yard bed, and I was like, so I think the birds ate most of the rutabagas. So I planted some more rutabaga seed. I really like them, with the purple tops. So we'll see if that happens in the front yard here. And I think this is a Peter Pan patty pan squash. So it'll make like a flying saucer green squash, and I think that's what that is. There's just some romaine lettuces. We're thinking about putting a raised bed over here, but Wayland's not sure how he wants it to look, and we probably need to finish taking the tree stump out. He cut that whole tree down, and he didn't quite like. We weren't liking this whole idea of stones that I had from the back that we brought out. I'm thinking if we just do a giant circle of some bricks or something, that would be really fun to do. But we haven't really fully decided. So sometimes we move stuff around and try it out, and we go, I don't like that. We'll come up with something else. So I haven't had time to move those back. There's some wildflower seeds in my seashell, and there's supposed to be wildflower seeds that I put back here with our grapevine and our rose of Sharon. So some of it's popping up. It's definitely needing a lot more water since we cut the tree down. So I don't know. We're trying to decide what to do on this area, but we haven't finalized it. And some fruit trees. No fruit this year because of the Texas apocalypse that happened, but next year we should have some lovely fruit. Well, that's it for today, y'all. If you got any questions or you want to pop by and visit, we're home today. And thanks for visiting me here in my garden, in Wayland's garden, and our gardening adventures and what we're always trying out in our urban backyard. So until next time, we'll see you guys later, and have a blessed weekend.